I was walking this very cute little French bulldog. He's adorable.
Nice.
And he you know how they breathe? Like, you know, they can't breathe. So they're just like, you know, like, yeah, like a scuba diver with like a cold or whatever. Like they just sound terrible.
I had the same thing. That's why I got a sleep apnea machine.
That'd be great if the French bulldog has the mask. And his wife is like every night, and you're like, I need you.
Dystopia tonight. Dystopia tonight.
Hey, what's up?
Not much. How are you? That is where we met, right? The telethon thing? Was it?
I think it was another Zoom show, but I think we also did that together.
Okay, good. Yeah, I was like, did I fuck that up?
I love that you were like, yeah, for kids with cancer and then more cancer.
In my head, I knew it was two different versions of it, and then I couldn't figure it out. And I was like, I'm pretty sure one of them has more than the other. I don't know if that's a medical term, but you know, it is now, I think.
It's like, can you imagine a chart where they're like, I'm so sorry, you have more cancer.
Why did I drink? That? I should have known better. Yeah, you were fucking great on that. You were like one of the only, because we had set it up originally to do for people to come on and do sets, and then you had comedians that were, you know, way bigger than other comedians and going like, I'm not doing a set. So they were just bullshit. They had a lot of it, and then everybody kind of kept coming in, and then the set thing kind of went by the wayside. But then there was people who actually, you know, were like, I want to do 11 minutes. I was promised 11 minutes on the dot, and you were one of them, and you fucking crushed it.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was like, look, if I get 11 minutes,
yeah,
you're getting 11 minutes.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we did Emily's Zoom show, I think, right? Or Emily and Ralph's. Yeah. I ate it, I think, on that one.
Another charity thing. We're very charitable.
We are. We're people who have no money who will also like to give money.
Yeah.
John just likes to put philanthropist on his LinkedIn.
I like people to see the clothes I wear and then go, really? I don't know. Why is he shopping at a Target? This is actually from Target. That's not one of the plugs.
Sponsors.
Yeah, that would be so great. I love the shout out. But yeah, no, that was fun. Yeah, you did you get like used to doing that? When did you start comedy?
I've been doing it for like 5 years. So.
Okay, that's what I thought. 5-6 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're really good at the Zoom stuff.
Oh, thank you. Half the battle is showing up. For sure.
Oh man, yeah, I know. Some people like avoided it like the plague. Some people it was just hit and miss. I kind of liked it. I did. I psyched myself out for a few because I fucking hated doing it. I really did.
Oh,
did you like it?
Oh no.
Okay.
No.
Yeah.
It was more like I saw other people doing it, and I was like getting jealous. And then I was like, if you're gonna get jealous over something that's this attainable, then just do it.
Yeah. I would do it where like the first time I did it, it was great and it went well. And I was like, this is fucking easy as shit. I don't know what people are complaining about. And then I did another one and then got too comfortable and then fucking ate it. Because I was just like, oh, this is and like ate it as far as you can eat it on a Zoom call. You know what I mean? But I just wasn't enjoying myself at all. And I was like, oh, everything sucks. This sucks. You suck. This is awful. And then I thought, well, you know what the good thing is I'll never get asked to do it again. And then they asked me to do it again. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong? And then I did another one and it was good, but it was like hit and miss for me. I did not enjoy it as much.
Yeah, that's the thing with Zoom. Like sometimes you'll like think you're bombing and people are like, I'm enjoying this. And you're like, I had no idea that anyone liked this.
Yeah. And did you get the thing where like we did one, Tom and I did one thing. I think you had set it up, but it was like for somebody who was doing that telethon, whoever raised the most money got to pick their favorite comedians, and then they wanted them to do a show, which I didn't know. Oh. And then I was on the list, and I thought we were just doing this. I thought they were like, we got to talk to their favorite comedians. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll do it. And then like 10 minutes out, Tom was like, oh, you getting ready to do your set? And I was like, no. What set are you fucking talking about? And he's like, you're doing a stand-up set. That's what those people won. And I was like, no. I freaked out. But it went really well. But there were two people in the thing. It was like a husband and wife. And the husband was clearly watching something else on the TV. And only the wife was on the couch watching us. And I could see him like reacting like he was doing a wave at a sporting event. I was like, he's not watching us at all. Like, he won this. But
that was actually the best part of Zoom, is that like you could like genuinely like real time see people disengage.
Yeah.
A way that's like, oh, just like they're at home. Like this one woman, this one woman, I was doing this show, and like because like Zoom like doesn't differentiate, like if you're talking, you get highlighted essentially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so she forgot to mute, and then she goes, I guess I'm at this comedy show, but no one's and so a comedian is in the middle of a set. I'm offended. You know what I mean? The show's like almost over. And like he doesn't know what to do. And then the woman stayed in the Zoom call. She stayed for the entire show.
That is impressive. Oh my
God. She
God.
didn't even mute herself. Someone else muted her.
They're just like, how do I quickly get this woman off the screen? Did she have a better set than the person that was on?
Oh, she was an audience member.
No, I know, but I mean, like, did she have a better?
Yeah. Did she get bigger laughs?
Unfortunately, she did crush. That was hard to watch for the comedian.
I always like the people who clearly had just fucked right before they came on a Zoom call because they were still in bed, but they were like, you could tell they just like, let's just go on the thing, and hair's all messed up and shit.
Yeah, there's like cum on their t-shirt.
Yeah, little Monica Lewinsky action going on. We're like, save the dress.
Yeah, it's like Monica Lewinsky with like no stakes. Like it's just like nobody cares.
Oh God, that's great. Yeah, I was always a little jealous of those people too, because it was in like during a lockdown. I'd be like, you fucking scumbags, you come into my house enjoying each other physically, you pieces of shit.
Yeah, you're like, nobody makes love under my roof.
Yeah, in my Zoom call.
Yeah.
We're doing this for charity. What was the because I know you're dating another comic, right? Or no?
No. I'm dating a normie, as we like to
You're dating a normie? Oh, good for you.
Yeah.
That I feel like works out the best.
Oh yeah, it's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
I get all the attention.
Yeah, that's what
never have to share.
No, dude, I'm looking for a normie myself. It's hard. I've never dated a comic before, and I feel like people think that's weird as shit, but I made like a strict rule in the beginning where I was like, not gonna happen, because I just felt like there's no reason to have two assholes starting out in a relationship together.
Yeah, I totally get why people do it. It's because it's like, obviously similar interests. You guys are around each other all the time. But yeah, it's like there's one star in this family. And
right.
I will not be sharing ticket sales.
The funny thing is that there usually is. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I always wonder how it works, like secret, like when there's two people, because we all know, we know the comedians who are like, married and they've been in a relationship for fucking ever, but one of them is clearly bigger and just drags the other one along. Like, and it's funny too, because every club owner, even though I fucking hate club owners to begin with, but like because I'm about to say what they complain about, but I don't want anybody to get the impression that I'm for them. I hate them. Like, I don't really, but it is funny because they'll be like, oh my God, fucking so-and-so is bringing his, or so-and-so is bringing her, whatever. And you're just like, I kind of get it, but I also just never wanted that. That also, I think, kept me out of it too.
Yeah. Well, it's also like, like that has to be like a contention point in the marriage, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, you're my feature. Like,
right? Yeah. I feel like there's a contention point in most marriages anyway. So I'm like, why would I want to add to it through comedy?
Yeah. I feel like we're just like blatantly saying like comedians won't date us. He's like, yeah, we don't ignore me.
That's so fucking true. You are absolutely 100% correct. I'm glad you said that. You really brought it down.
I'm like, yeah, I like engineers. They're great with eye contact. You know what I mean? I do like it.
Yeah, no, I understand. I always wanted, you know what it was? I don't know if you're the same way too, is when I started doing stand-up, I wanted to have the separate life from it too. And I don't know if it's because I worked with so many like bitter headliners on the road who like lived in the city and immersed themselves in it, where I kind of got, I don't know what it was, but I was like, you know, I could have moved into the city and I was going in there all the time. That's where I started anyway in New York. Sorry, I say the city and I forget that you're in Chicago. And people are like, oh, there's two. Because Chicago and New York completely forget about Philadelphia and Boston. Like, it's just wherever you're from, there's you and another city that you compete with.
Yeah. Some might argue there's three. Some might include LA, but not us. So we know that there's only two.
No, because yeah, that's so true. I didn't even think of LA as a good stand-up place. I always think, because I lived there for 2 years, and I always think that's where I went to endless network meetings, and you know, fucking bullshit. Or they're great. Whatever, whoever wants to hire me. Yeah. That's so sad. It's so true. I have a drawer full of them right here. Clearly no one's taking them. But yeah, I could have moved into the city and done whatever in Manhattan and stuff. And then I was like, but I had a nice apartment in Jersey and I had like my social, you know, friends and stuff. Circle. Yeah. Thank you. I couldn't think of the fucking.
You're welcome.
Couldn't think of the word circle. That's where this is going, by the way. Nice one, John. Yeah, but yeah, I had that going on and I was like, oh, you know, I'd rather have like a separate thing and then just kind of bust my ass driving everywhere to do it. I don't know if you feel the same way or.
Yeah, I definitely like wanted to keep like a friend circle outside of comedy. And I think I've done that pretty successfally. I mean, I'm in the city for Chicago. So I call it the city. Yeah. But so I live in the city and like I have like really good comedian friends, but I also have this outside group and it's just so nice to like be like, oh yeah, like I don't have to do a bit right now. Like, yeah. Right. Yeah.
I know. I agree. Yeah. You don't have to worry about if anybody's going to be like, can I take that? Did you think of that already? Did you already say it?
Yeah. So I was like, you going to write that down? Or
yeah. Do you have... or should I is the most polite way.
It's always like, oh, like that was your riff, but also like, can I have
it? Dude, I love when two people kind of collaborate on a perfect thing and you don't know which one gets to have it. And you're like, do I take the lesser half of that joke and try to rework it, or who's got the gig next? Then that's whoever matters.
Yeah.
You should treat it like a child. Yeah. Like when you split up as parents, you get it on the weekends. I get to use it during the week.
I know a bunch of guys who used to do that. Like some of the old school comics when I started or whatever, literally used to just be like, hey, I've got this gig in wherever, and your bit about such and such would work here. Can I use it? And they'd be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. And they'd be like, great. And they would just do it in like, they would never do that in the city, in Manhattan or whatever, or any place that mattered. You know what I mean? But they would just do it because they're going to be in like, you know, Metuchen. And then they would just be like, yeah, it works in that small shitty town.
I remember Richie was saying that he was doing a cruise ship. And they're like, you can use whatever you want on a cruise ship. It's all fair game. It's a cruise ship.
International waters.
That's the rule.
Richie's dipping into Pryor's material. It doesn't even make any sense because he's like pasty white.
That's a lot of N words for Richie.
Anything goes on a cruise ship.
You're on a cruise ship.
He's like, finally, I can say I'm in public. I don't know why we're just trashing Richie for no reason.
I don't even know him. He seems nice, probably.
Keep going. Get him. Hit him again. We're going to go back to Richie and be like, this girl we had on, Jessica, was really fucking hammering you. Yeah. What did you do to her? He'll be genuinely, he'll be like, what? I don't know. Did I say something to him? Like, she was on our telethon, Richie. You upset the shit out of her.
It's more about what you didn't say, Richie.
There you go. If you were only an engineer.
That's a nice prerequisite.
So how is Chicago? I feel like I know it's cold. That I know. I've been there. But how is it as far as like doing your gigs, and where do you go afterwards? Where's the good spots to eat? Give us some info on your city.
On my city.
Yep.
So there's this cute little hole in the wall place called McDonald's that I've been going to. It's always open.
What's your go-to meal?
I love the Big Mac because the Big Mac sauce is so good. Now I'm like a cheapskate, so I don't want the whole thing. I just want a burger with the Big Mac sauce, but they won't do it, so I'll just get that triple decker of a burger for the sauce. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, it's so good. And then the McFlurry, you're like, that's not ice cream, but I still like it. Like, what is it? It's so good.
I don't know. And it always gives me a stomach ache. The ice cream, the McFlurry ice cream. Oh,
I like wake up with diarrhea. I'm like, how is this possible?
Dude, me too.
At least you woke up.
She said she got a McFlurry, not COVID. Jesus Christ. Hey, that was not great. I'll cut that out. We're still in it, right? It's still dangerous. Yeah, no, the McFlurry, I don't know what it is, but you're right. It's not real ice cream, but it literally like I'll eat it and I'll know, oh, this is gonna be bad in like 2 hours.
Yeah.
And sure as shit.
Totally.
Yeah. I had McDonald's like actual food in a long time, but the other day I was like, I don't know why. I'd eaten dinner, I was fine, and then Tom and I got done doing a thing, and I was like, I'm going to McDonald's. And he was like, all right. And then and I got a large shake, no drink, just a shake, and 2 cheeseburgers and 2 tours de France. And I just like, and when I tell you the next day I was fucking dead. Like I was like, because I felt good at the time. I was like, oh dude, this is great. I can handle this now. Like I'm good. No.
I had it for like 2 days in a row, and as I'm eating it, I can feel the heartburn. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you know when you're like, my heart isn't supposed to feel like this, and you're like doing the thing that's making your heart feel
slow down and harden all at once.
Remember when you were a little kid and you would get a stomach ache? And like the stuff, like it was like you were scared of it. That's what happened. I felt like a little kid again when I got a stomach ache, and I was just like, am I dying? Is this the last? Yeah.
You're like, should I call off school? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Mom, I'm not going to make it. Just like, you've been out of school for a while. Yeah, the McDonald's thing was ridiculous. I don't know how you guys, because I admire, for living in Chicago, like I dated this girl that was going to law school there. So I would go to Chicago and I would do the Laugh Factory that was out there. And then like a couple of the other clubs or whatever, but we would hang out. But she would just show me every time I was there, different places to eat. And I don't know how anybody in Chicago stays thin because there's Cheesy's. I don't know if you've been there or if that's still around.
Oh yeah.
That fuck. I think I, honest to Christ, gained like 10 pounds in the 2. I was like, because we just ate at Cheesy's, and it was ridiculous. And then there's this breakfast place that we would go to, and I can't remember the name of it now, but it was like really fancy. But you would order your breakfast food, and you either had a choice of a Cinnabon, and it would come with it, or 2 giant biscuits, and they were like this. So you get your regular food, and then you would get this complimentary fucking, hubcap Cinnabon style thing. And I don't know. Everybody was just like, I don't know. It was crazy.
Is that Ann Sathers? Is that what it is?
That's it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're totally known for those cinnamon rolls. It honestly is like, it's like you're like already getting diabetes, and they're like, they're free. And you're like, yes, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, it was so crazy. Yeah, there was like this chocolate place that we used to go to that just had chocolate. Not even like a candy store, like anything, like milkshake, hot chocolate, whatever it was. Yeah, I did a lot of eating when I was there.
So the chocolate factory is like right next to the river. So like right next to the river, there's like the air smells like chocolate. And I'll just be picking up dog shit, being like, like so.
I'm assuming you have a dog, right?
No, that's what you does for fun.
What if I was like, no. Don't assume I have a dog.
Oh, we're learning so much about you today.
I'm like not using a bag. It's like bare hands.
That would be even better.
Tossing it back into that river.
I respect that. I feel like you will get your name known. You know that girl who freeheads dog shit by the river? Yep. She's a comedian, I heard.
I'm like plugging my Instagram. I'm like, Jessica Mizra comedy.
Just spell it in dog shit.
Dude, the other day, Chicago is so cold that I was picking up dog shit and it had frozen to the ground, and I was like, well, I guess it lives there now. Like, if the dog shit is literally freezing to the ground, I can't be expected to like
Right.
dry it off.
That is amazing.
This is in God's hands now. Oh, what kind of dog do you have?
So I actually don't have a dog. I'm a dog walker.
Oh, okay. That was so great.
That was great.
I was like, oh my god, she was.
I should have let it live in that. I should have just been like, I don't have a dog.
I
Like,
really don't have a dog, John.
Oh, that's fucking hysterical.
Why are you
so
pressing
dog
it?
walking. That's awesome.
no, I'm a dog walker.
Cool.
And like, I was walking this very cute little French bulldog. He's adorable.
Nice.
And he you know how they breathe, like, you know, they can't breathe, so they're just like,
Yeah.
you know, like, yeah, like a scuba diver with like a cold or whatever. Like, they just sound terrible.
I had the same thing. That's why I got a sleep apnea machine.
That'd be great if the French bulldog has the mask. And his wife is like, every night, and you're like, I need
He comes out in a fur coat at a football stadium. He's like, is that Dog Bane? Holy shit. I think he's going to blow up the city. He's just upset because his shit keeps freezing to the sidewalk. And have the fun for me.
Actually, true story. It was his shit that froze to the side. Yeah, same dog.
Wow.
Same dog.
Wow, that's special.
Story.
When I was in Chicago, the dogs dressed better than I did. I have a picture of a dog waiting outside of a store that just, and it didn't even have a leash on. It was just that good. Like, it was just waiting, but it had the nicest fucking sweater. I'll have to send you this photo because every now and again I look at it and I'm like, where the fuck did that dog get that sweater?
Yeah. Like, is that J. Crew? Like,
yeah. But he was dressed to the nines and I had like this fucking shitty jacket. And I was like, fuck you, dog.
Yeah, no, these dogs will be wearing like lined plaid and you're like, that's a really cool. Where'd you get that? You know what I mean?
Not Target.
Yeah, no, not Target. They're not shopping at Target.
So this is no longer a plug for Target.
Yeah. Once you shit on them 2 or 3 times, then they're like, this isn't fun anymore.
This part's brought to you by Pause.com.
Yeah.
Someone was like telling me that you can like steal a certain amount of money from Target before they even care because it's not even worth it.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like, apparently they have, you know, they always have people on camera doing stuff. It's when they do the self-checkout. So they'll like see you take like a razor and they're like, all right, let me write it down. That's one.
Everybody gets one.
Yeah.
They're like Santa, like checking their naughty and nice list.
But I got to tell you, the amount of times I've stolen from Target, I don't know how many is their max, but it's got to be above 25. Because
their max is crazy. Their max is like hundreds of dollars. Like, you
really,
like to be a blimp on their like radar, like you actually kind of have to like go for it.
Wow. Because that's what I like. What was it? My friend walked out with a VCR, not a VCR, but whatever. How fucking
was
old
this in
am I?
1987?
Yeah. I was like, what year is this?
Was it a Crazy Eddie's? Or The Wiz?
Had a John Hughes movie just come out?
Holy shit. I fucking love it. Yeah. I got nothing. You're all right. You're all correct for shitting on me for that. I'm not even going to defend myself. You're absolutely right. They sold a DVD player or whatever, or Blu-ray.
He's just updating it like it's one of his jokes.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I'm like, 4K, whatever the new thing is.
The new Blu-ray.
That hologram machine.
They walked out with an Oculus. You're never going to believe it. Each quick edit to this part of the episode, people are going to be like, is it skipping? Did they break down? What happened? Yeah. But they did. They walked out with that, and they were totally fine. What have I taken? I took something. I've stolen shirts from Target, but like in the dressing. But no, I'll tell you what I did. This is a good one. I walked out with a hoodie. Sometimes you ever, I don't know if you ever stole anything, but we'll get into it in a second. Like, I don't even need to do it. It's just sometimes you're just bored or you're like, fuck Target. You know what I mean? For whatever reason. Like usually I do it out of rage, but this wasn't even a rage thing. I
definitely off our sponsorship list, by the way. Go on.
This is all.
They're like, okay, we're taking out that shirt for sure.
None of this is airing.
Next time you're in there, there's gonna be facial recognition on you for talking shit.
What
Everybody
do you think
else gets $1,000 limit. John gets $499.
Why do you think I did this look over? Like, is it? It's like this, and the dude who looks like, who gave Jenny AIDS. That's what I in Forrest Gump. That's what I went for. They're like, we can't tell.
Nailed it.
Killed it.
I was like, wait, Jenny? Like,
that's what he had on VHS.
That's what I was. That's what they were taking.
Someday they hope you the Blu-ray version, but that was years away.
I feel like Tom's trying to steer me away from admitting that it was years ago. He's like, get off with it. I'm like, anyway, let me go back and tell you.
Do it.
Let me go back and confess. So what happened was, that was like years ago. I was much younger. Yeah, I had a hoodie on or whatever, and then I threw on a leather jacket that they had in there because I can't help myself. I'm like 10, but I did it anyway, even though I would have never gotten it. But I was like, I wonder what this looks like. Cheaper. And then like the people that worked there came out and they were like, that looks great with the, button out of the jacket. And I was like, oh, cool. And I like took it off and I realized the tag for the hoodie had slipped into my sleeve. And my brain was just like, walk out of here. Well, yeah, you might. And I bought whatever I had to buy, but I left the hoodie on to see if anybody would notice. And then I had a plan that if they'd said anything, I was like, oh my God, I'm such a silly goose. I can't believe they were complimenting me on the jacket. I felt flattered, but I didn't need to do it. So it was great.
That's the thing though. It's like I feel like that's like very like when you steal, you always have like a backstory. You're like, well, no one paid attention to me in middle school or whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
that's a great thing to shout in any situation. Even when you're getting pulled over. You know why I pulled you over? I didn't get enough attention in middle school. No, but okay.
I feel bad for you now.
The officer's like, me either. Get out of here.
Be on your way. He was like, John? Like, holy shit, yes. Bill? Have you ever stolen anything?
So here's my thing. I like lemons a lot. So I steal small things. I'll get 3 lemons but I'll put in 4. You know what I mean? No, sorry. I'll buy 3 lemons, but I'll put 4 in my bag.
I understand.
Nice.
I've done the same thing with certain things like that.
You could justify that if they were all so small of a lemon that you really think it equates to 3 full, as opposed to I get it.
I'm like, well, legally a lemon is this circumference, so.
Right?
You have to give me 2.
I'm gonna leave the water on the bottom of the cart, guy, and then like if nobody notices, you just walk out with it.
Yes, absolutely. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
and they never do. They never do.
No, they never care. Nobody cares. Actually, that's the other thing too, is like you don't realize how many people just don't give a fuck. Like think about when you worked somewhere like that and how little of a shit you cared. That's everybody. There's always that one psycho that thinks it's coming out of their pocket.
Yeah.
And it's always some like, 17-year-old kid where you're like, they're not paying you enough, right? Like how old do you have to be?
The thing is like he doesn't know yet. So you're just like, they're not paying you enough.
Right. Yeah. They think they're doing a service.
I feel that same way about Starbucks. I feel so guilty getting a glass of water, especially if I haven't ordered anything yet. But I'm like, they don't give a fuck. Like they don't own us. That's not Mr. Starbucks behind the counter. He's like, my dad gave me this job.
Sticking it to the man with a sweatshirt. Yes. That is what I have done. I was dating this one girl one time who used to steal, we went to a Lucky Brand, right? Which is like, I didn't know, I don't know what oh God, I don't even know why I'm talking about this. This is stupid. I really wish I could backtrack out of this one.
I feel like before this episode is over, John's going to admit to killing a man.
I just want to see if they would let me do it.
Nobody cared. Nobody cared.
Enough.
Here I'm already in the ICU. I just wanted to see.
I was already there.
I was like, let me see what I can do here if I can help anybody out. But I like jeans wise, I love Lucky Brand. That's my jean of choice, right? I know it's like whatever. But like, so I was dating this girl and we went into the Lucky Brand store and she was like, you pay fucking how much for jeans? That's ridiculous. She goes and tries some on. and then comes back out. She's like, all right, you ready to go? And I was like, that's it? You're done? We're done? I'm like, yeah, all right. And I walk out and she's got them underneath whatever the fuck she was already wearing. And she just slipped them on. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, I just went into the changing room, tried them on, put them on. And I was like, okay.
Genius.
Oh
It was
my
impressive.
God. I am taking notes. Who is this woman? She's my
I'll
hero.
give you. Yeah, she. Oh my God, she would only steal clothes, and never from like obviously the rule that we have because we're fucking Robin Hoods or some shit. It's like never from mom and pop places. Like that's where you don't take from. But when I was out in California, man, I fucking took everything. I don't even care. Like not in mom and pop, but I was like angry at how poor I was when I was there, and also just like enraged that they would charge you for plastics. I know it was like try to save the environment, but I knew it really wasn't saving the environment, so I knew it was just to pretend, and it was like to fuck you to everybody else.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
It's just like because those jeans looked good on you, you're like, yeah, fuck them. And my ass looks amazing.
Yeah, that's right. You watch me walking out and stealing shit. Oh my God. Yeah, but I've never. I see you never. Do you just steal food? Is that your thing?
Mostly food. You know what? You know what's my go-to? This is such a low stakes. I didn't realize we were all kleptomaniacs. I honestly. I'm kind of a badass in my friend group, so this is jarring.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I steal those Cadbury eggs. I like the caramel kind.
Oh yeah.
Oh, and they're seasonal too, and they're like crazy expensive for what they are.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I'll just like put them in like people's hoods and stuff. Like I don't even know why I'm doing it. You know what I mean? It's just like to see if I can leave.
That is you put them in people's hoods?
No, I like in people I'm with. So
that's what I mean.
Yeah. So I get to eat it. Yeah.
You want to retrieve it later.
That is fucking brilliant. I've never thought about doing that. Having other people work because the thing is if you act like you don't know what you're doing, everything's fine.
Oh yeah, you can be like, joke, and then you forget, and then you never forgot.
Exactly.
I think it would be even funnier if you put them in strangers' hoods and then approach them after you got outside the store. Like, Miss, what is this in your hood? I'm gonna bring it back and just pop it in your mouth and walk away.
That's a great idea. Pretend you work for the store, like, excuse me, ma'am. And then like, I had no idea. We'll let you off this time.
Yeah.
It'll just be your
like,
Cadbury
mules. Next to you?
Too bad you can't do with anything huge like a TV or something good.
Yeah. Well,
whoa.
I would argue that a Cadbury egg is that good. It's
That's
the
true.
TV
You're right.
Of the chocolate world.
I've stolen food out of anger and in an airport. Like I'll never pay for food because everybody's. What? Oh no, I won't do it.
No.
Oh yeah. So because everybody that's at the counter is annoyed that there are other people shopping at the counter. So they're just annoyed to begin with anyway. They're checking everybody out. Everybody's moving around and too many people are picking stuff up, looking at it, putting it down, picking stuff up, looking at it, putting it down. So I just do the same thing. I kind of make it look like whatever. I usually go to the self-checkout, take my card out, and then that's the last thing anybody sees me do. And then I leave. And I've magazine, soda, sandwich. I stole a neck pillow once because I was outraged that it was $80. So it was next door on the outside of the kiosk, the store on the outside of the store. And there was also a bagel place next door. And I just took the thing, shoved it right into my bag, zipped it up, and then got online for a bagel.
See, I would like to up it one more. This is what you should do. Okay. Wait till somebody leaves and throws the receipt out, then go pick up the receipt and then go in and get those items. So even if they try to ask you, you're like, got my receipt right here.
That's a good point.
That is good. That is
it's going to take a very smart security guard to be like, this happened 3.5 minutes ago.
That's what I mean. Nobody wants to work that hard at their job and pay that much. When I go out to LA, I never pay for a gym because I find one that's 24 hours. I get the free 3-day. I just moved into the area pass. And then I befriend somebody at a ridiculous hour in the middle of the night where no one wants to be working that hour at like 2 a.m. And then I go back every time. 2 a.m. the first time, wait a couple days, 2 a.m. the second time, see the same person. Third day, my thing is up. By the fourth day, nobody wants to check you in. You put your headphones in, you look annoyed. And then that's it. Head down and...
So the Moore has a good question. He says, how about the least selfish, most generous thing you've done? Have you given that sweatshirt to a homeless guy or something of that nature?
I have less stories about this for sure.
Actually, I got a good one to redeem all this shit. We did a show at God, what the fuck is the name of that deli in LA that's famous? Cantor's? No, that's New York.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
It's oh my God,
delicatessen.
Yeah, of course.
No, I'm really like those big sandwiches.
Hang on a second. No. Give me a second. This fucking sucks. That
you just said the first word, the full word for deli. You were just like, oh, it's delicatessen.
Yeah, but it's not like a deli. Like to me, a deli is like a bodega. Like this is like a Carnegie is New York. Yeah, it's not. It's like a Katz or something of that nature. But
yeah, it's something like that. It's famous, and I'm pissed that I can't remember what it is.
Sounds really good. You guys are making me hungry.
It really is. They have I think it may have closed. I don't even know.
The name of this episode is going to be Stealing and Food.
It's on Fairfax. Oh, it is Cantor's. I was right. Fairfax in Los Angeles. Cantor's.
Okay.
See, I fucking second guessed myself and I ruined the whole thing. Start over.
We'll be right back.
I love that you're on board with that now. You're like, just editing the episode.
I'm like, we'll edit it out. Don't worry about it. Like, suddenly I'm asking you questions.
Yeah. I'm like, how'd she do that? She gets on. She's in my clothes. I'm like, what the fuck?
I'm like, I got this at Target.
Change. So to answer his question, the more Cantor's Deli, they feed the comics ridiculously well there when we're doing shows there. So they gave us like, they wheeled out a cart of sandwiches. And, I had one because I'm not an animal. So but I also took some for myself. And then there's a bunch of, there's just a bunch of homeless dudes that were outside. And I was like talking to them beforehand and I took the cart out. Like I just took all the food out and fed them, and Cantor's got he's like, if you feed them, they stay. And I was just like, they don't have anywhere to be anyway. Yeah. And so they got really pissed. But yeah, I gave them a bunch of food and shit. So there you go.
Oh wow.
I like that your selfless story started with you stealing 3 sandwiches. You were like, yeah, this is like the best thing I've ever done. Anyway, I pocketed 10 ham sandwiches.
Some for me, some 1, 2 for you, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me.
And one for the 2 a.m. desk guy. He looks sad.
Yes. Yeah. I've given I don't know. I give a bunch of shit away. I'll give that fucking sweatshirt to somebody. Now I'm feeling real guilty about it more. God damn it.
It does it. All his lucky genes are going to vagrants now.
You know what would be really fucked up though? I feel like that would be, because I don't know if you've ever seen the Lucky Brand jeans, but when you unzip them on the inside of the zipper, it says "Lucky You."
Yeah,
that would be the most fucked up thing to give to a homeless person. They're like, really?
Yeah. We're just gonna have like the most stylish homeless people. They're in like Target sweatshirts, like Lucky jeans.
Obviously, she's attended Fashion Week.
A marvelous delicatessen sandwich.
I like how she only referred to Target as stylish if it was on a homeless person, because before you guys are like ripping it apart. You're like, really, Target?
I think Target is quite stylish, actually. I got all of my clothes there for like a lot of years.
Yeah, every now and again they have something that's like, I'm like, holy shit, like I cannot ignore this and I gotta get it.
Fun graphic tees. They have very fun graphic tees.
Yeah.
Yes, they do have good graphic tees. I always got my swimsuits there, and they were never flattering, but I was always like, that's where you buy swimsuits. Like I didn't even think to go to like Forever 21 or even like a store. Like I was like, it's Target.
Right. Did you grow up in Chicago?
No, I grew up in Iowa.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Nice.
But I was going to say, I feel like Chicago is not one of those places where you would automatically think to go to a Target.
No.
But if you grew up in like a smaller town, if your town had a Target, you were like, the Mecca.
that was a dead giveaway that the town is smaller. I was
100%.
Like, you don't go to Walmart, you go to the local Target and you get something nice for yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, you had a Walmart, but you didn't want to get caught there.
Well, you know what? Like when I was growing up, it was a small Target, and like now it's a super Target, like just down the street from me. And so the thing is like intense,
Right.
Yeah.
Like
wait,
that's
do they have those escalators that you can put your cart on?
I don't think so. Oh my God.
Oh. When you get out to LA, visit a Target, my friend. Forget the Comedy Store. Forget the Grove and fucking, the beautiful mountains and shit. Get to a Target.
I feel like I'm listening to a conversation with my great aunts and uncles.
This really did become Thanksgiving.
this year, so I feel like that's not bad, right?
I'm like, you ever make your way out to the Target in Long Beach? You ever make your way out?
It's got an escalator for your cart. You don't even have to walk.
Oh my god, I love it. Oh my god, I'm fucking crying. That's hilarious. Have you been out to LA yet to do stand-up?
I've been out to LA once, and I just started stand-up, so I like went to a few shows. I got to see like Maria Bamford at like 3 p.m. and I like.
Oh, nice. Where?
I can't remember what the place was called, but it was this little like kind of like box theater essentially.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Do you know what it is?
I do. I can't think of the name of it, but I have been there to see. Oh my god!
It really is my great aunts and uncles.
Holy shit! Wow. Yeah. No, I got. It was a show with. I think he's canceled now, but Max Landis and some kind of like comedy. It was like a Second City thing. They were doing it at the Black Box, right? So there was a couple people on. They were like also famous, and then there was like a panel, and it was like Max Landis and like a few other movie people, like writers, and they did some kind of like weird improv contest show. It was nuts, but it was like, you know, a bunch of people went, and it was like, I can't think of the main attraction, who the fuck was there, but somewhat famous. Anyway, good story, John. You were saying, so Maria Bamford, so did you get to do any stand-up out there?
No, I didn't do any stand. I like tried to do a mic. And it was like one of those like, you know, not everyone gets up mics, but you know, you go
or
whatever. And I didn't go up, and I was like, oh, that sucks, but whatever. And then this guy next to me was like, you didn't get to go up, and you're from out of town? And he like, lost his shit on the host. And then the host was like, do you know that guy? And I was like, I don't know that guy at all. Like, we just met.
But he's now my agent.
Yeah. He like came in like he was already mad. Like I was like, who hurt you, dog? Like
yeah. Also, like depending on the level of that person, if they're bigger and they do it, you're like, I'm flattered. If they're nobody and the club doesn't really like them that much and they do it to you, you're like, I do not know them.
No, dog. He wasn't even a comedian. He was just an audience member.
Wow.
Oh shit! Wow, that's really weird.
It was super bizarre. I didn't even talk to him, so I don't know why he felt like the injustice was like
on him as well.
Yeah.
Was it at Flappers?
Yes, it was at Flappers.
Did you already say that? Because if I feel bad if I didn't hear you say it, but if it was,
no,
I could tell.
I didn't say it.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
because I could tell immediately it was at Flappers. That seems like a situation they would have.
John knows that guy.
I do. Yeah, he and I are close. Yeah, Flappers is. I love Flappers a lot. They're good. They're a fun club, but they're getting like because all the main ones kind of closed after. Not like permanently. A lot of them are still under renovation. I don't know if they're ever coming back. But like the Ice House, which I love out in Pasadena, they're still renovating. And Comedy and Magic Club in Hermosa Beach closed or temporarily. Like they're like shifting gears or whatever. But they haven't opened back up yet. So like Leno and fucking Spade, like all those guys, other than the Comedy Store, they're going to Flappers right now.
Oh shit!
So it's kind of weird because it was because like Jeff Garland used to go there a lot. Jimmy Dore. Trying to think of who the hell else was there. A couple of other like Jackie Cation was always at Flappers. Yeah. They were really great. And Dana Carvey was at Flappers a lot. Back when but it would be like that kind of a thing. And then, you know, now everybody's fucking going there. It's nuts.
You know what I find very interesting is that our audience is trying to get our show back on track. So the Moore says, what or who inspired Jessica to do stand-up?
I'll get to it.
We're like, look, the Ice House is under renovation. We need to think about that for a minute.
It's very...
We're not done with our pastrami talk, the Moore.
It's rare that I have
Oh God!
It's rare that I have a friend on that I genuinely think is funny. So just let me have this. No, I'm just kidding. That was it.
That's gonna be good for every guest that we've had in the past. Like, this
I'm
is my friend.
kidding.
They're like, oh, okay.
I'm fucking kidding. They know I'm kidding. Nobody knows.
As Tom Papa slowly sheds a tear.
Yeah, sorry, Tom. It was my bad. He taught me how to make bread, so I owe him, I guess.
He looks like he would know how to make a good like loaf.
Have you seen his videos?
No, I haven't.
Oh, dude,
his thing.
that's like his passion is making bread.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh my God. He has a podcast called, I mean, he has like 1 million podcasts right now. He's got like 5, I think. I'm not even kidding.
Oh my God.
And one of them is called Breaking Bread with Papa. And he makes a loaf of bread for his guest and puts it in the middle of the table. And there's 2 mics and that's it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. You don't get anything for coming on this show.
That's becoming painfully obvious to me. The longer
Jessica,
I'm
don't
on.
worry. We're gonna send you a lemon.
I'm going to send it.
From the local Target.
I'm going to have that paid for sticker on it.
We're gonna DoorDash it, but like you have to steal it.
Yeah. Like, is that like a extra tip? Like what, $1?
Yeah.
We tell the DoorDash guy to honk, but keep driving, so Jess has to like run after him.
I can't
Oh,
emphasize
God.
how much I won't. Like, I will refuse to run over steal. Like, if like the choice is like pay for your food or like run and like steal it, I'll pay for it.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I got
It's
you.
cold. It's slippery out there. You could get a little noggin.
Yeah. Have you seen the
could
video?
fall on some frozen dog shit, for God's sake.
People are cooking it up because it's freezing. So disgusting, actually.
Just trips over in the middle of the night. Have you seen the video of this woman? She was on the news with her boyfriend or whatever the hell it is, running buddy, but they're both running in the middle of the night and it just snowed. And this girl's just talking the entire time about what a perfect situation it is to run. Actually, the cold and the lungs and the, whatever. And it's freshly fallen snow. So it's good for your feet. She takes like 5 steps after the reporter and just slips, lands on her back, hits her head on the sidewalk. And the reporter just goes, "Oh, that is not good." I was just like, and she goes, "I'm okay." It's like, that was priceless.
That's amazing. I love that.
But yeah, so when did you get into comedy?
Okay. So yeah, I was a part-time theater major. I thought being a theater major might be too much work for me. So I was like, I guess I'll part-time this. It's really because I just didn't want to take history of theater. I was like, nah, dude, I'm a star. I got to be out there.
Yeah.
On stage working.
I get you.
So yeah, I was doing a play with a friend and she ran an open mic and we had this like crazy director who was like making us do like 5-hour dance rehearsals and then we didn't use the dances and stuff like that. And she would like say crazy things to us all the time though, like I like told her I wanted to dye my hair red. And then she goes, "Oh, that wouldn't look good on our skin tone." And I was like, "Okay, well, we don't have the same skin tone." Like she was like super white. So I was like, "What are you talking about?" I was like, "Yeah, that wouldn't look good on you. You'd look like Pippi Longstocking. Like you look like the Wendy's logo. You know what I mean? Like for me, it still looks like a cry for help in a different way." So like I was like, "Oh, we don't have the same skin tone." So I like put my arm next to hers just to like be like, "No, we don't." And then she like took it away and she goes, "Well, I get darker in the summer."
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I wrote a bit about that. I was just like lampooning her,
Yeah.
That
I
great
get darker in the summer. She an action figure from the 80s? Like what in the whole like yeah, when you leave it in the sun.
She's like one of those chia pets where it's like, "Oh, if you add water."
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was just like making fun of her. And then my friend's like, "Oh, do this at our open mic." And I tried it and I was drunk the whole time. And I was on stage for a minute and I loved it. I was hooked. So I just kept going back every week. Learned that there was other open mics, started going to those. Yeah, I was super invested. Decided I was going to move to Chicago. Graduated college, did it. Talk to me. And and now I'm here just trying to get funnier,
Sweet.
Yeah.
What made you go to Chicago though?
Well, because I just felt like New York might have been so much of a change like right away. I wanted because I had read that like a middle city was the way to go, kind of get some chops. Like I had never even heard of bumping because that's not really a thing in Iowa.
Right.
Yeah, so like lists whatever for like 3 hours and stuff like that. Like that's just not the case,
Okay.
In Iowa, like a mic would happen and there'd be like 15 people and you'd all watch each other set. You know what I mean? And
yeah, of course.
Such a different feel. So I'm very glad I went to Chicago and kind of like learned like that stuff, like that, like social etiquette essentially.
Sure.
Yeah. So the plan has always been like to like, move to New York or LA like after like I feel like I've, grown up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's cool. And Chicago's a good. It's not like you didn't move to a comedy city. You know what I mean? It's not like you
Oh,
went to
yeah.
like I went to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
And,
That would
different
yeah.
feel out here. Yeah, Chicago's got a good history.
Yeah, it's got a great history, and then it's also so like close to home. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, so I can like go back for holidays. Like I can take a bus, brag, and
there's a uniqueness to like. See, that's the cool thing though too, though, because I feel like, if you move to New York right away, you're just meshed in with a bunch of New York comics immediately. You know what I mean? It's like, but if you're like from Chicago and you're doing well out there, which you are, I see you all the time on, on Instagram, I guess, when you're posting whatever, but those flyers that you have up, you're always on with good people. Like you're always on great lineups and you are super funny. So it's just like, now you're just, you're from Chicago and like, that's an awesome thing to have.
Yeah. And also it's like, just like a really fun city to live in. And I like genuinely like really like the city.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm in a great place right now where I'm like the worst person on every lineup. So I'm on these like great lineups. I'm just like dog shit compared to everyone else. But then like I am getting so much better from it.
Yeah. I was going to say that is how you get better though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the, do you feel more comfortable out there than because you have been, like you said, you went out to LA and stuff like that. Do you feel like at ease in Chicago at this point where you can go somewhere else, or do you still feel like you're the new girl?
I'm in the middle. I definitely have more to do here for sure. But like, good. People know me now. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm at an open mic getting bumped and all that stuff. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Or you get there like 4 hours early and then you're last and you're like, dang.
Dude, I know. And it's fucking, and it sucks when you're the person driving in, because when you are driving in from somewhere else and you get bumped and you're like, okay, 12 hours later.
I was so great about that. Like if you drive in, they're like, you're going first. Chicago's like, you go when you go.
Yeah, I think I did it when I was early on or whatever. My buddy ran a room, and this is a friend, and we had taken an acting class together. And he was like, yeah, you should come in and do my room. And it was, I don't even think she remembers it. It was, do you Megan Hanley?
Wait, what's the last name?
Megan Hanley?
No, I don't know.
It's funny comics. Very funny, very nice.
Funny.
And we get along. We never didn't get along, but we're friendly now. And then, but at the time, my friend was running a room with her and someone else. And I can't remember who the other dude was, but the three of them were having some kind of feud that I knew nothing about. So because I was my friend's guy that he brought in, she was like, fuck you and fuck him. And they never put me up. And I had no idea what was going on. So I'm like, yeah. So I had driven all the way into the city to do this obscure fucking show in Brooklyn. And and then they were just, and he was like, I'm so sorry, man. I don't know what happened. And then I found out later what happened. I was like, oh, you pissed them off. And then, decided to have me come in out of the blue.
You're like, oh, a guest spot will fix this producer feud. Let me tell you an unannounced guest spot. Yeah. And then she just did it despite him. I'd never told her that though, because I was like, oh, why bother? But I think it's funny now. I should probably bring it up.
That is funny.
Yeah. Like these things are like funny now, but in the time you're just like, I should go into marketing. You're like, you're like, I should just like drink Starbucks and like go into marketing and then say things like, yay, Friday. You know what I mean? Oh my God. Yeah. I know. I worked some terror. Did you work any best set you've seen? Yeah, what's the best set you've seen in Chicago? In Chicago? Oh my God. Sure. Okay. Yeah, there's some like amazing sets. Like honestly, like I'll see somebody just like, it's just like their voice. Honestly, like Joe McMahon is so amazing. He's so good. Alex Keelan is this like, I think she's getting a Comedy Central thing, and she's fucking hilarious. Yeah, she's in New York now, and she's destroying. Yeah, Matty Ryan, I've seen him just like destroy, Tim Smith, he just headlined Zanies actually. I don't know Tim. I'll have to look him up. Oh yeah, dude, seriously. Like I've seen, like there's just like so many good comics, Yeah. Like incredible. And then like
Tim Smith is tough. That's like an uphill battle on a Google. That'd be 2 billion Tim Smiths. Yeah,
that actually might be why he did change his Instagram name. I think it's like old Timmy Smith now.
makes more sense.
That's so much better.
Yeah.
Old Timmy Smith. Oh my God. Yeah, I can't think of, I mean, I don't remember the last time when I was in Chicago when I did the Laugh Factory. I went out there. Dom Irrera got me in, so I went in and did that, and then I didn't see too many. I wasn't there enough to catch anybody, but I know like how great the clubs are.
Oh yeah, like you'll like anytime I feel like Kristen Toomey goes up or like Corey Bell and like Allie, Corey, have you met? Just insane, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Like, yeah. That's like, cool. That's a great scene.
Yeah, I'm like very lucky that like the scene is this good. I think,
yeah,
you know.
Do you remember your first joke?
Yes. Yeah. So basically, I'm ambiguously ethnic. I don't know if you could tell. Like the glasses change and suddenly I'm like
it's a fake filter. It's a Snapchat filter. You're just like
yeah, so my big joke is that I'm pretty ambiguously ethnic. Like no one can tell what I am, but that doesn't mean they don't want to try and figure it out. And I can always tell when somebody wants to ask me what I am because they have this look in their eyes like they want to ask me about my hair, and I'll think to myself, please don't ask me about my hair, and they go, I love your hair. What are you? Yeah, and then great. I go into exam. It's a longer bit, but that was my big thing. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I still use that.
Oh, that's awesome. Was that the joke that like, because everybody I feel like in the very beginning has one joke where you're like, oh, I'm a comedian and this could work.
Yeah.
You know, like everything else is crap. And then there's like the one nugget that keeps you going for the next 3 years.
You're like bombing. You're like, I got to take out the ambiguously ethnic bit. Like, that's the crowd pleaser.
Yeah. You're like, I did it structurally. I wrote it once perfectly. So it's got to work. It's got to happen again.
I know. And I even think back to like how I did that bit. And it's so different from how I write now. And I'm like, should I be doing that? Like, that one's a banger. Like,
yeah. I remember when I first started my, the first show I did really well. And then, you know, after that, it was like a mixed bag of fucking sucking and just like not having a, you know, whatever. But I remember like for a long time, I was chasing the high of that original set. Because I was like, I was the most excited. I was the most enthusiastic and clueless about stand up, my career, the whole thing. And I was like, I would love to feel like that again. And then once you get over the fact that you'll never will, it evens out, I
think. Anyway, kids.
If you just accept the fact that you flatline for the rest of your life and never experience real joy, you can do it.
You're like, how did I meet your wife? My wife? I settled.
Oh my God, that's perfect. So what are you like, do you see yourself doing this like forever at this point? Like, are you in for the long haul, or do you still feel like, you know, because a lot of comics who like start out even at 5 years where they're like, I don't know, I might bail. You know, you're like, why?
I think about bailing every morning, and that's like, I'm in it forever. I feel like if you're like always trying to quit, you're like, yeah, you're here for a long time.
Oh God, yeah. If I don't feel like that, at least it's funny. Like you'll do like, I'll go out on the weekend, I'll do like a weekend of shows, and I'll go, oh, it was fucking great, and people have been like, yeah, it did. You've been doing it for 16. Of course it went well. You should. And I'm like, no, you don't understand. It was like magic. I don't know how I did it. You know, whatever. It was great. And then immediately, like the day after the weekend passes, I just think I suck again until the next. I'm just like,
yeah, totally. You're only
nice cycle.
Your last show kind of mentality.
Absolutely. I'm like, I should go out on top and undefeated.
John's like, I should just quit after that first one.
Yep.
That was the best.
Nobody can hurt me anymore. I just got asked to have you know, I hate any of that kind of shit, but like I just got asked to send in a tape for something. And the fact that they asked me to send in a tape, which I know is standard, and didn't already just give it to me, makes me feel like a piece of shit. I was like, the process of going through it, I was already just hating it. And I was like, oh, I suck. This sucks. I don't even know why I'm sending out the email. I was thinking of actually just bailing on it altogether. I might get it. I don't even know. But I literally just wanted to go like, if I say no, at least I said no.
Yes. Exactly.
And I can walk away.
You're like, I have the power now.
Yeah. Yeah. I could have just been like, listen, I don't think I'm right for it. And they'll be like, what? My agent, like, I fucking can't kill you now. I'm like,
John's like, I chose not to be in that new Marvel movie.
Yeah. I don't like superheroes.
And the only reason why this background is blurry because it's all Marvel shit on the wall. It's old comic books that aren't worth anything.
Yeah. Your face is like plastered on them, like you're like.
He's superimposed.
There's like a real life GIF on the wall when it flips up. I'm in the Iron Man suit.
So yeah, one of those holographs, like you're in like your like Target jacket, and now you're Iron Man. Target jacket, Iron Man.
I am putting a disclaimer before this that this is going to be brought to you by Target. I don't care if they actually endorse us or not. This episode.
They don't need our advertising, but we're gonna give it to them.
Hell yeah!
Right.
No, they don't. They don't need it, but you know they'll fucking take it.
I would love if they sued us.
Yeah, like none of this can
Good luck.
because we talk about Target.
It gets flagged. Maybe it'll like blow up like a fucking joke. I'll just pretend you're can you actually for like 2 minutes talk about how unserious COVID is so we can Joe Rogan this episode?
I'm so glad you asked. I've been waiting for someone to ask me that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, go on. I'll just take the $100 million role of going, oh, fascinating. Really?
Yeah. There's like a joint in my hand. You're like, where did that come from? Like...
And like an elk head behind you out of the blue. Like, where the fuck? Just carving elk meat.
Yeah, like when you see like all these like weird like graphic stickers, you're like, what the fuck? Like, who is this?
How are people in Chicago treating? Are you guys at the clubs like handling it well, or are they just like fuck it?
I feel like they're doing a lot. So like now like it's like mandated for like vaccine cards and stuff like that to be like shown and stuff like that. So that's something like the government did. But like also like there's like, you know, masks everywhere, and then like they like will switch out mics and stuff like that.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So a lot of times like if you don't get your own mic, they'll like wipe it down and stuff like that.
Oh, nice. Well, I mean that's more. I mean that's great because some clubs literally aren't fucking doing it. Like they're just like you know. I mean it depends. Like I know LA before there was any mandates, they did kind of band together and were like, look, the comedy clubs, like I think it was like the major ones were like. All 5 of us right now are like, you know, if you got to walk in here with a mask, you got to be vaxxed and stuff like that, even though the city is not really, you know, doing whatever at the time, which is really, really cool. But I know like, you know, some places in New York, one of them I just got into a mini feud with, is because I'm bored, Jessica.
This is your hoodie now. This is your hoodie.
This is yes, exactly. Yeah, I know some of them are like doing that freedom shit. You know, where they like they put a flag outside the building all of a sudden, and
there were like some venues where it's like they like had like a really weird stance on like Black Lives Matter, and you're like, what are you doing right now?
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Like, you just like lost that open mic, and that those people drink. Those people drink so much, you know.
What do you mean by those people, Jessica?
Tom,
and now you'll get your views.
I'm gonna cut out the part where you said you were ethnically ambiguous, so it just looks like you're white and you're trashing black people.
I love that. That's a new look for me.
Oh God!
If he cuts it up just right, he could be like, "What are you?"
Absolutely.
And that's the new joke.
I hope you use it. If you do use it, you got to send us that clip. We'll make it into the episode. I'll plug it in. I'll move it right in there.
Yeah. Suddenly I'm like touring. People are like, we like this.
You get a whole new crowd. You're like, you're like getting QAnon kind of corporate events. You're like, I'll take them. They pay well, believe it or not.
Yeah, no, I bet they do pay really well.
Yeah, I think my buddy wound up at it wasn't a QAnon event, but it was some kind of like NRA thing. And they didn't really want to take it, but they were offering a ridiculous amount of money. And he was like, I don't know what to do. And I was like, I guess you could take it and then also give some of it to anti-NRA. I don't know, whatever your conscience feels like doing, dude. I have no idea.
Yeah, dang, that is really rough. You're like, the money though.
Because it was like, yeah,
how much to sell your soul, basically.
Yeah. It's like $12.
Oh my.
The fourth lemon.
Yeah, he's like, I can't believe they would pay me this much.
Yeah, I should clarify that it was a lot of money for normal people, not comedians, not what we would pay it for. Did I feel like, because like pandemic changed everybody's kind of perspective. Did it do anything to you as far as like, did you kind of reevaluate some shit during it? You know what I mean? Like how you wanted to measure your career? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, totally. I think it just like changed how like serious I've been. It's because it's like I always took it seriously. I always was like out and like doing stuff, but it's like it kind of changed my mind on like priorities and stuff like that. So I felt like it was like more important to be like out there and like doing shows and like, you know, like hanging out with people and like doing mics. Whereas like I used to do like 3 open mics in a night and I was like, that's it. And I wouldn't talk to anyone and I'd be weird the whole time. And I'd be like, I got my comedy grinded.
You were like somebody on like that was on a plane and it almost went down, and then you were like, now you're talking to everybody.
Yeah.
Like before that, you would fly and you'd be like, I'm not fucking talking to anybody on this plane. And then like you had a moment where it went down, and you were just like, I talk to everybody all the time.
Yeah. Well, it's like I just like kind of realized it was like, you know, like once we weren't allowed to like go out there and like do it, I was like, I feel like I had like weird priorities where I was just I was like being like really intense, and I was like, if friends didn't want to grind with me, I was like, what are you doing? Like, who are you? Like, you know what I mean? And, so I feel like I really like slowed down, and I was like, okay, I want more to talk about, and I want to like kind of like be there and hang out with people I really enjoy, and I just kind of took everything like a lot slower, and it's actually helping quite a bit.
I agree. I feel like I did this, did the same thing, but I know a lot of the people who also kind of feel the same way, and it's really nice. It's either people did that or they went crazy. I feel like there's really no in between. I know people who kind of slowed down like you and I did and whatever, and then there's like the other side of that was like, you can't keep us in. You're just like, dude, relax. Holy fuck. I don't even know. I don't think the government knows you exist. Just chill. Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I do get that cabin fever, right? Because it's like I live in a garden apartment, dude. It's like they pay for heat, and that means that they don't turn it on. So like, I was out here being like, can we go to a bar just for some warmth? But then I was like, buy a space heater, power through, watch. I don't know. Something.
I'm going a little crazy now. I mean, I haven't been out since Christmas, I think, when it like really started to spike. Because I wasn't doing anything for the holidays. I don't do New Year's shows anymore. So I was just like, I'm just going to coast. And then it obviously never went away again. So I was also like, I'm not fucking getting it. So I just stayed inside. And all my gigs were canceled anyway. I was supposed to do Boston, DC, Vegas, and then go out to LA in February. And then everything just shifted. So I was like, oh, okay, that's fine. But like, I'm getting like, it's killing me now. Because I'm bored as fuck.
In like Chicago too, there was a big like outbreak and stuff like that, and everything was like getting canceled, especially before the holidays. Because I like random restaurants were just like closing because they were just like, it's not worth it for us to be open right now.
Yeah.
And it was like weird that the city didn't mandate it. They were just like, this is what's best for us, and you're like, yeah, that makes sense, you know?
Yeah.
I think that's what happened this time. I feel like they're just letting us handle it. So like businesses ourselves are gonna have to close down.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's like weird to put them in that position, right? Because it's like there's no like help or aid if you like choose to shut down, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is weird. I don't like that they kind of left it up to us, because I feel like people who do care about it have to not give a fuck because dumb people don't care. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's always like this weird scale tipping thing where like, because morons don't care and they're like forcing people to go back out, you have to either fight it and try to offset it yourselves, or you have to just, it's like who breaks down first. And I feel like the idiots have all the energy to not, give a fuck.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh God, I guess I just have to go out.
Yeah. It's like such a weird like limbo we're in. And it's been so long, it almost doesn't feel like limbo ananymore. Like
quite a dystopia, Jessica. Quite a dystopia.
I'm trying to get you to say the fucking name of the show, Jess.
I'm leading you to it.
I'm just kidding.
I'm I'm like, did you guys notice that it's kind of like a dystopia out there?
That's hilarious. I love that you're searching for a word. I wasn't even trying to get you to say anything, but Tom picked up on it. Like I can't put my finger on it. But,
something where it's not just right.
You know what it is? So like, you know what it is? So like, there's this like term when like the Soviet, I think this is the term. When the Soviet Union was like crumbling and like they had to just like, and people just like had to like get eggs and milk, like they had to live their normal life, but they knew their like society was crumbling.
Right.
It's called hypernormalism, and I feel like we're in that.
Ooh, I've never heard of that.
Yeah,
Nice.
I got it from a documentary on.
Oh.
I was gonna say that's Jessica's new podcast, Hypernormalism Tonight.
What is this documentary you speak of? Never heard.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, cut back to me in the middle of the pandemic, just watching nothing but murder documentaries all the way through. How did he kill her? Like, what did she bury in the yard?
You know what was my life? Behind the Bits gets it. All right, they've been ahead of their time for a very long time.
It's true.
It's true.
It's very true.
Yeah. No, it's like, you know what my like. Okay, this is kind of a topic change.
No, fine, man. You go for it.
I think you just got.
You said you were going to take control of the show at one point.
There
So
you go, Caxter. You need to be an architect for her. Engineer. I'm sorry,
me?
engineer.
Oh wait, what happened?
Oh, you're making me blush. Caxter, great to see
You're like, I get this all the time. People just yell at me on the streets. Oh man.
Oh god.
But like, you know what my COVID like binge was? The one thing I got into, and I was like, this is like, I was like foaming at the mouth. I love it so much. You know how you love things. And the podcast, My Dad Wrote a Porno, I got so into it.
I've never heard of this.
You've never, it's my life. It's
Oh
so
my God.
good.
Really?
I will write it
Yeah.
down though. What is it? What is it called?
My Dad Wrote a Porno. This
John
guy-
fails to realize he could just watch this again. Go ahead.
You fail to realize I do not watch our own show.
Oh, you think he's got an hour and 14 minutes of free time? Absolutely not.
You're not supposed to just say the time. It's supposed to be flying by. She's like, God damn.
It's featured in Podcast Magazine this month.
It's huge. They
Wow.
I think they're like they played the Sydney Opera House. They're doing Radio City Hall in like June.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so it's really like, because it's a British podcast, so it's
Classy.
they're doing like international tours and stuff like that. It's really
So it's classy, he said.
Yeah. Are they not? I mean,
they legally have to wear wigs, like their parliament. It's just the thing.
As soon as she said it was British, I was like, oh, so they're up. Like, I get it.
I do think about that though, because it's a British podcast. It's like a very sexual podcast, but there's a lot of allusions and metaphors, you know. Whereas like if it was an American one, they'd be like, "This is fucking," you know what I mean? Like,
but that's when you said it's called My Dad Wrote a Porno, and I thought it was just an American thing. I was like, oh, this is like probably some fucked up whatever. You said it was
story.
British, and I was like, oh, elegant porn.
You're like, oh, there's probably a horse and choppers and whatever. There is horses and choppers, actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It actually is very classy.
We found her in Chicago, and it's
Yeah.
Jessica Mizra comedy.
Yeah,
Hold
Jessica
up.
Comedy, yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
best place
Jessica
to
Mizra
find
comedy.
her.
That's
Let's
where
make
you
sure we're not giving out her exact location, Tom, to people that are just like,
No,
I mean,
Caxter's over there in the UK right now. He
Oh,
might
okay.
have seen it.
So he's a
actually
safe
one of
distance.
our fans from the UK.
I don't mind
he's-
giving him my address. I live on the Red Line CTA at the Belmont. I live there, so if he wants to come, yeah, I would love a sandwich. Or
I thought you said you weren't doing bringers anymore.
I was gonna say, bring some Cadbury chocolate.
That's a true. Yeah, bring some Cadbury eggs in a hood. That's a true comic right there, though. Is that she's just like, wait, that's another guest, ass in the seat.
I was literally like, oh yeah, like here's my next show. You know, if you want to follow me into all of them, that'd be sick.
Yeah. It's so true of how much you'll put up with when you need to get people in the seats to do 5 minutes. You're just
That
like,
should be your first album that you make. Looking for a stalker. Looking for a group of stalkers. I feel like that would be perfect.
Stalkers wanted.
Stalkers wanted.
They are not, by the way. I feel like I have to clarify that.
Yeah, thanks, Bits.
Thanks, Bits.
As if I visit Chicago.
Well, okay. Well, if you have a castle over there, I wouldn't leave either.
Yeah,
that's the truth.
Yeah.
Does everybody get a castle when they're overseas? Like, is that the thing?
Colin Mockery had one, I think, in Ireland or something.
He did. Yeah, Colin had that. I wanted to ask him about it, but I also didn't care enough.
Well, that's beautiful.
Thank you. I know.
Oh,
I'm a real piece of shit sometimes. I don't know why. But I'm just like, I don't know.
You know what? So my mom, like, my mom has lived in America for a very long time, but like her descent is like German. And so when we went to England, she was telling people, she was German, which is a lie. And everyone knew that because she was screaming it, which let everyone know. And then she told this waiter about our castle in Germany that our family used to have, which we don't, by the way. She was like, oh yeah, but then it was stolen from us. And we're like, no, it wasn't. Like, what are you talking about? And the waiter's being so nice, and it's crazy because they don't tip over there. So I'm like, why even be nice? Like, I would.
Yeah. That's a good point. Yeah, it's weird that they don't tip over there. I had no idea until my family who lives out there is like, yeah, no, tipping is fucking unheard of. Because we're talking about the, I don't know, I think it's like Instacart or whatever. They add the tip into it, so you don't even have to fucking worry about the tip. They just go, we'll tell you what you pay us in tip, and you're like,
that's just the price, then, right? It's like that's just the price of something.
Could I give you a quick tip story? Because this irked me the other day. So I ordered food online from this Chinese restaurant. It's an excellent Chinese restaurant out here, but I'm not going to say their name because they did this to me. So I order it, and it says, do you want to include add tip? So I'm like, yeah. So I added a tip. So when I add the tip in, whatever, the food comes, and the guy's like, this is what you owe me. I'm like, is your tip included in that? Because I know I filled it out online. He's like, no, it doesn't say that anywhere here. I'm like, hold on. So now I can't not tip you. So they got me twice.
Wow.
So like,
that is sketchy.
I know. That's what I said.
So
I
fucked up.
All right, take another $6 from me, but I'm mad about it. That's what I told him. I'm like, tell them. Because I tried to pull it up on my phone. Because I'm like, I'll show you right here that it says I paid tip already. But I'm like, I'm not going to jerk you because I feel like he's going to go back to the store. Yeah. They're not going to give it to him. And then what am I going to be? The guy that gives change? No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
It only hurts the person most affected, right? It's like, it's not going to hurt the restaurant as much as it's going to hurt that one guy.
Yeah.
And then
I try to give cash.
You can tip, but it's not necessary out there. But they pay a higher wage to their servers.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fair.
Yeah, I think that's
also,
what it is.
I feel like there's no culture around it, right? It's like we're obligated to.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that
somehow the fucking states and the government put it on us to take care of the people that are serving us our food. They're like, we're only going to give them $2. If you want them to be able to afford heat, you pay them afterward. After you eat.
And they're like, and if you don't, like, you're the asshole, by the way. Like,
right.
And you're like, why don't you just pay them more money?
Yeah, exactly.
I wonder where that all started, right? Like they came over from England. We were like, no, we don't like to pay tax on tea. So we're changing and making our own country. Now we're like, but we don't want to pay a lot to people at work. So you have to start tipping. That's what we do on this side.
I love that you think the Pilgrims came over because it was tea related.
No, I said we broke away because of the tea.
You can phrase it however you want. It still sounds like we...
we're like, we won't be fooled. We know how much tea costs.
I know what the tax on tea is. Don't worry, it's this Chinese restaurant over here.
They think it was religious persecution, but honest to God, have you seen the price of Earl Grey? Are you out of your mind, sir?
They're like, I'm picking up my whole family and we're going.
I'll risk dysentery. So
Oh
what
my
if food
God.
and service is shit? Do you still tip? I do.
Yeah, you still do.
Yeah.
But
I
I
try
think
to
you
do
know what it is?
cash as much as possible because
Me
I
too.
still don't trust, like, when I'm writing it down, that if I don't physically hand it to the person giving me my food, I feel like they're not getting it.
Mm.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Well,
Or they can still be dicked over.
Yeah, they get taxed on that for sure. Whereas cash, it's like, who can
Oh, I
say I
know.
got $5?
Oh, dude, I'm
Yeah.
hoping they pocket that. I'm always hoping they've got like a secret, I'm like, I only made $12 today. Meanwhile, there's like a 500 watt of cash.
See, he thinks it's
Yeah.
insane that we would still tip. You ever
Yeah.
go to restaurants that they build in the tip? They're like, oh, we don't accept tip. I find
No.
that those to
You've
be,
been to
What fucking magic places are
yes,
those?
they're very expensive. I'm not gonna lie.
Jesus fucking
In Chicago,
Christ.
it would be Alinea. I want to get there eventually.
Oh,
But
yes. Very fancy.
yeah,
Wow.
but super fancy. But they're like, no, we don't accept tips. But they're also going to charge you your right kidney for that meal. But
Sure.
Oh,
that's just
yeah,
how
yeah.
it works.
Because
So
they,
it's
they
like-
like tucked the lamb in, and it was like a fleece blanket made of another lamb.
Yeah.
So they did
A lot of dead lambs.
I got texted. This actually kind of pissed me off. I can't remember what the price of the food was, but I always tip at least 30%.
That's a good
Holy
tipper,
shit.
Scott. He's a good
Thank
man. That's a
God.
good man.
Wow. Well,
That
fuck it, I
guy's
was
worked,
gonna.
that guy's worked in service.
Yeah.
That's a former waiter right there.
Yeah. 30% is a lot. Holy shit.
You know what's funny?
I mean,
My wife and my father-in-law have never worked in service, and I have. Like, I work in tip industry a lot in my life, and I tip very heavy. They tip more than I do. Like, they're exorbitant. I've seen them leave like the same size of the bill as a tip, like in the past. And I'm like,
Oh my
I know.
God.
You know what's funny? You go into places with them, and the waiter remembers. Like,
Oh yeah.
he'll like buzz right over. Here's your drink. I remembered it.
Yeah.
Well, it's like when we had Colin Mockery on the other day. We were talking about Drew Carey and how generous he is, because I worked with him at a comedy club, and the wait staff was like on fucking cloud 9 because Drew just drops 100. Like, he'll be like, "Oh, cool." Like, even if he gets a cup of coffee, he just hands out money to the wait staff. Which, by the way, is like, I was just kind of just sitting around like, I can never tip here again. Like, because like,
Right.
like, because as a comic, I would be like, oh, here's an extra whatever out of the thing if somebody took care of you in the room. And I'm like, it doesn't matter now.
Yeah.
Because it's never going to be as good as that.
You get like one drink, you tip 100%, and it's still like, you're like, oh, dang. Like,
Yeah,
I can't even touch this. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But they were like on cloud 9 because he just fucking I wish I could do that. If I had the shit ton of money, I would do it too.
I had an uncle who did really well for himself. So he was an exorbitant tipper, like a beyond tipper, right? But he knew people that had much more money than him, but were very tight and wouldn't tip, right?
Yeah.
So they were in the at Atlantis in the Bahamas. So he said he's down there, and there's this guy down. So he calls up for a reservation at the restaurant. He's like, "Hi, I'd like a reservation for 8 o'clock." Like, "No, I'm sorry, sir. There's no reservations at this time." I'm like, "Oh, hold on. You didn't hear me. This is the guy that every time he walks in, he puts $100 in your pocket and into the waiter's pocket as soon as I sit down." And they're like, oh, "Okay, sir, what's your name?" And they took it, and he went down. He said he walked in, same thing, right in his hand, boop, $100. He walks by this guy. He's like, "This guy could have bought and sold me. He had 10 times my money," right? He's like, that's sitting at the bar. He's like, "How'd you get right in?" He's like, so he goes like this. He's like, "Money."
Yeah.
So he walks straight to the thing, boom, sits down, has dinner. He said the next day he goes down and he puts, again, $100 into each pocket of the guys that do the cabanas on the beach. So he's like, I want my beach chairs and I want towels, like in the front. They would rope off an area for him. Same thing. The guy comes down. They were like, "They don't have any more beach chairs. How'd you get such a good spot?" He's like, "It's like, you have 10 times my money. Why are you so cheap?"
Yeah.
But I think I think people that work in the industry, like, it's a culture that they recognize that pretty quick.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. I feel like I do.
I think so. Sometimes I think that's why some comedians are really like, I'm sorry, it always comes back to comedy, but like when I see like, because a lot of us we don't have any money. So like a lot of us remember that like over time too. And like we always try to, and we work around wait staff so much. And, we work in these clubs and we're all kind of basically scrounging for shit at the same time. So you do kind of remember it. I don't know why some of them wind up being dicks though, with their like, came from nothing, have a shit ton of money now, and could not be fucking bothered. I don't understand that.
There's a very famous athlete that I don't want to name his name, but
do it.
We'll tell you if you sign up to the Patreon, I promise. but he's got ridiculous money. I heard he's the worst tipper ever.
That's the thing. I feel like there's some rich people where they're like, well, this is how I got rich. And they like kind of like hoard it, you know?
Yeah.
Like a hoarding mentality. For sure.
Yeah.
Matthew Perry is supposedly a shitty tipper.
Really?
You didn't even have to subscribe to the Patreon for that
There
one.
you go. John will toss anybody under a bus on this show.
I don't know. What are they going to do? They don't know me.
They're like, dang it, that public knowledge is not public.
I hope a PR agent gets in contact if Matthew Perry wants to come on the show next week to dispute this.
That would be great. That would be great.
Only if this show aired on a dating app, I feel like, is how we get Matthew Perry. Boom! Topical, kind of. No one remembers, but it's fine. We did. 3 of us did.
Yeah, we did.
Listen, I don't want to keep you forever because I could talk to you for the rest of the night. I don't know if you know this. You're like, I feel like your boyfriend's in the other room. You're like, he's waiting. There's dinner.
He's actually like talking to friends right now, and I was like, you need to keep it down, dude. I'm like kind of doing my career.
I'm in the middle of something over here.
But I'm going to ask you the 2 questions that we ask every guest. So, are you ready?
Okay,
Actually,
is that one of the
questions
questions?
Yes. Now I wasted a question.
Yeah.
She's like a genie, John.
Yeah.
you beat. Now you only get 2.
Damn it. She outfoxed us again.
I'm like, all right, use the last one wisely. But it's
when did this turn into a Warner Brothers cartoon? Like, what the hell? So one of the things is, if you go back in time and talk to your younger self, what piece of advice would you give yourself today that would help you out?
God. I would say you should just try thinking before you talk. You don't even have to master it. You don't even have to do it. Just what if you just one time a day? We ease into it. Yeah.
All right, I like that.
Yeah.
I feel like I should also take that advice.
I was about to say we can all take that advice right now.
I was like the worst. Oh my! I would just say anything that came to my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but give me because I feel like we all live with one particular moment. Can you have one in your head where you're like, I really wish I hadn't said that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I was a gymnast, and a coach was like yelling at me.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm just bragging. I have a coach yelled at me. And she was just screaming at me and like what I had just done something wrong. And I was like, this would be like the worst time to laugh. Like that's what I thought in my head. So I just start laughing.
Oh
and
God.
She goes, what the fuck is so funny? And then I was like, well, you can't tell her that, the truth. So just tell her you were thinking about something else. So that's exactly what I said. She goes, you were thinking about something. She's like, I can't even look at you. And I missed out on punishment because she was so disgusted with the fact that I would tell her that I was zoning out.
That's fucking awesome though. That is great.
I
love
that
it
all the time.
Yeah, that's genius though. You avoided punishment because she was just like, holy shit. Wow. That's awesome. I didn't realize you were a gymnast. That's fucking sick.
Yeah. I did it for honestly like 13 years. It was a huge part of my life for
wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. If I was a better interviewer, I would have asked you that.
We would have got to know you a little bit more.
Yeah. We were just having so much fun. I don't know why I'm justifying. I'm like, we were having fun. She's like, were we though? Were we?
Oh,
yeah. All right. So the next question is, what had to end in your life in order for you to wind up where you are today? Good or bad?
What had to end?
Yeah.
Probably gymnastics. I think because I was a coach and stuff like that, so I might have like gone down that route. And I was gonna do it in college, and I ended up not doing that. So I think that would have totally changed my trajectory.
Trajectory.
Yeah, it totally would have changed it. I'm not gonna use it again because it's too hard.
That's not going in the act.
And it's not going in the act.
John has an existential crisis every interview. Oh yeah. I comment. Yeah, I do. It breaks down from time to time. I do it during my set sometimes too. So it all blends in together because I feel like I'm just going to beat everybody else to whatever they're already thinking.
Yeah.
It's on brand. It's on brand.
Yeah. Even though I'm only thinking it about myself and maybe I've only picked up on it, I'm just going to make sure everybody knows.
Yeah, it's part of the act now. It is part of it. Like if you don't break down, people are like, "What did I pay a ticket for?" Like,
I feel like we didn't hear anything about your gymnastics, and now it's all gymnastics. I hope, like, to close the interview, you like triple backflip out of the scene.
You know what? I actually have a great story about that. I would just move to Chicago. I'm bombing my dick off. And it's gone. It's moved to the coast, and I was like, okay, this is going so bad. What can I do to save this? So I go, guys, do you guys want to see me do a backflip? And the crowd was like, yeah, we actually do want to see that. We didn't know you had any talent, so we do that. And so I like go to do a backflip, but I hadn't accounted for the fact that I'm wearing heels.
Oh my God.
So it was like a, not that big, it was like a wedge, but I like, it changed when I thought I was going to hit the ground. So I think I'm going to hit the ground. I don't, I just land on my head.
Oh my God.
I land on my, it's a black box theater. It was like really hard.
Oh my God.
And because I had said that was my closer, I just got off stage.
I hope you just rolled off. You didn't even get up.
I like limped off. I'm like slurring my words.
I wonder how many people in the audience are like, she was joking about the backflip thing too? Like,
I could just picture the slow clap.
They think I'm like an intense physical comedian.
What's great is they're still talking about it to this day.
Yeah. What's even crazier is I don't even remember it. You know what I mean?
That's because you had a concussion.
Why have you not posted this on TikTok?
What?
Why have you not posted this on TikTok?
I actually am uploading it right now. This was a mistake, and I will correct
it. That's amazing. Oh my God. I love it.
If John would only do a backflip every time we started bombing on here, that would be the best.
Oh my God. I can name what was it? What was the interview that we fucking hated? Probably shouldn't say it on the air.
Let's not talk about it. Candy said, "Thank you. We all needed a laugh right now. This was hilarious. I'm crying." Thank you for joining us.
Candy,
awesome. Oh God. All right. And the third question is our new dystopian fucking question because I'm trying to tie in all this shit.
Okay. I just say you only got two, and now you're trying to sneak in a third after getting the third. Okay.
Yeah. Now I'm sneaking another one. If we were in a real dystopia, and she's like, I'm going.
I like log out. I'm like, and I'm done.
I just want you to do a backflip, and then you're off screen, and that's it. Except you don't land it; you just fall out of frame.
She climbs back up to exit. Collapses.
Just ahead.
Yeah.
I like, well, I said that was my closer.
Oh God. All right. So if this is a real dystopia, right?
Yes.
Everything's going to shit. How do you want to go out? Do you want to be okay, great.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
No, I usually have to give examples for some of the people who don't know what I'm talking about. So you seem to just go.
Yeah, I think about this actually a lot. I don't need your multiple choice.
Great. Thank Christ. It's a terrible question to ask, but
I want to go. I want to go fast and early. Like, you know, in the zombie apocalypse where people don't know what's happening and they die in a car crash, like just like hitting a light pole, like because a zombie like ran out the street like a deer.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's how you want to go.
Yeah.
I don't like how specific it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
I want to go out by avoiding a zombie like a deer.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'm just like I'm texting or something and I'm like, oh shit, and I like swerve and then I hit like a pole. Yeah, that's
I've never heard that one before. That is genius.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Because immediately when you said that, I thought at the begining of every like bad horror movie, there's always those 5 people who are like, they forget how to drive.
Yeah.
They're just like, oh my God, is this a wheel? There's like
because like they'll be like, I've never seen a zombie before, but it's like from far away, it just looks like a person. So it's like
that's true.
Regardless, but they're just like
yeah, exactly. I think we'd be so desensitized to everything at this point. I don't know if it would startle me.
Yeah,
it
would startle me.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh yeah, I stub my toe and I get a little startled. You know. I'm like, where'd that wall come from?
Did you see that wall? It came out of nowhere.
So that wall's dead now.
I love it. Well, listen, thank you. This has been a fucking blast. So this is a great way to start out the week.
Yeah, thank
for
you
me
for
anyway.
having me. Yeah.
Yeah, no problem at all. You got to come back because now I want to hear more about your gymnastics career.
Okay,
yes.
now that we've teased that at the end.
Yeah. What a cliffhanger.
Now that the cat's out of the bag.
We talked about everything else, and then she just slipped in. Yeah, 13 years of my life used to be a gymnast, but it's fine.
Yeah. I almost went to the Olympics. No, I didn't. But
it's like another hour and a half. Let's do it. Hang on, guys. We're good. Clothing just starts coming up. All right, but yeah, seriously, I'll plug your stuff. If you got any other shows too, like if you got something coming up, like a show, we'll plug it on the Instagram and also.
Yeah, make sure everybody checks out Jessica Mizra Comedy on Instagram. That's where you want to go check and see her. Caxter actually he asked, does she like McDonald's? You missed the whole first half of the interview, so make sure you go back and watch it.
Wow.
You know what? I love McDonald's. Thank you for asking. I feel very touched by that.
There you go. Big
We're going
Mac
to send
meal.
her McDonald's.
I actually do have heartburn, so I need to take a day off. But tomorrow.
Oh.
Yeah. This McDonald's thing. I was like, oh, that happened the other day. It happened yesterday.
She just brings up the wrapping. It's still here.
It actually was next to me, but my boyfriend took out the trash. So.
Oh, that's sweet of him. That's right.
You don't even have like the Happy Meal toy, huh?
Do you think?
But if I get like really offended, I like click out.
Sir, how dare you? All right, cool. Well, thanks. Seriously, you're fucking hilarious, and I hope we get to work together like at some point that isn't on a fucking screen.
Yeah, I would love that. Absolutely.
Perfect role for the ethnically ambiguous character in an Armageddon.
There you go.
I feel like we all look like we're kind of in Armageddon.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, no. Do you know Carol Montgomery?
No.
She's a really funny comic from New York or whatever. And she's been doing it for like ever. And every time I go to like have lunch or dinner with her, she'll be like, "Are you going to cut your hair?" Every time. That. Yeah. She's like, "You do know it's over, right?" And this is before Omicron picked up. So we were like, we all thought we were coming out of it because I went out to eat with her and literally like it was so long at one point. It was longer than this. She was just like, "It's in your food. Can you can go to a fucking, bar?" And I was like, "I'll cut it eventually."
No, I love that. Like, this is my beard. I have a snack in there for later. I always get crumbs and sauce. Like, it's just nice. Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I'm super because I wasn't used to eating anything with long hair either. So I was literally just like coming back up. Like, I don't know how. It's just like not my thing, but I was just like, oh, it was everywhere. It was fucking gross as shit. So I was enjoying it. Yeah. But one day, I'm never getting it cut. This is me. This is my final form. Hobo is my final form.
This has always been your final form for me. So
that's right. Oh my God, that's so true.
Yeah.
I used to have a face. And
I can't even imagine that.
No, you shouldn't. I've been trying to Mr. Potato this stuff for years.
Just picture like Johnny Bravo. Like that's what he used to look. I'm not even kidding.
Would you do that like the firepower? Like
I have a Halloween photo of me as Johnny Bravo. I'll send it to you.
Yes, I love that.
Awesome. Oh God. All right. Well, cool.
All right. Thank you so much, Jessica, and we're looking forward to have you back.
Bye, guys.
I'm bad at outro, so Tom really nails it. Even though I just interrupted his outro.
John's gonna have to do a backflip to close this show. Thank you, Jessica. We'll see you later.
Peace out.
Night, bye.
Dystopia tonight.